Bonjour, buenos dias, ni hao ma, o genki desu ka? All right, now that we're international.
And its wisdom are all around us. Ask your will for yes or no question. Sense the force in my left hand. For you, I will.
Yoda, do we need to discuss fear programming and the archons and the digital matrix?
The answer, you see, is yes.
See, Yoda, we got to discuss this, folks. All right, brother. Thank you, brother. Okay. Whoa, high frequencies. All right, so as you may have heard, this is coming straight from Yoda and the Jedi Academy. Reptilian brain, archon, fear programming, negative programming to control the low vibrational frequency matrix of the archons on planet Earth is controlled by the ego of this world. All right, so I'm going to hold up. That's a statement with a lot of denseness, compact knowledge compacted in there. So first of all, archons, it's spelled A-R-C-H-O-N. What are archons? Well, to give this some historical and real world validity, this term, this concept goes all the way back to the Nag Hammadi scrolls that were discovered, the texts of the Gnostics, talking about Christian mysticism here, talking about the actual words where Jesus came from, the Essenes. So the archons, this concept, this knowledge goes all the way back to, I mean, it's been known for a long time. It was just, excuse me, it was just during, in the council, the Nicene Council of the Emperor Constantine, when they were the actual, what's in the Bible today, your King, well, not the King James, because King James Bible was, no, well, no, we're okay, Yoda. I'm doing what you told me to do. He was hollering at me. So anyway, archons. Yeah, the Bible today has been tampered with. It's been created, crafted for the enslavement of mankind. So you go outside of yourself. So you believe that you have to go to your preacher on Sundays if you're from Alabama and you were raised Baptist. I was raised Catholic, so it's same difference. Catholics, I had to kneel before when I went to confession, I had to tell every time I looked up some little girl's dress when I was in third grade, you know, in Catholic school. I was a demon. What can I say? But I've flipped the script. I'm working for the good now. Anyway, let me just go on with this. So reptilian brain, our reptilian brain, okay? I've talked about that before. If you know brain physiology, you know how all the fight or flight, fear programming, this is what the reptilians, the Illuminati have perpetuated the enslavement of mankind through the low vibrational frequency matrix, okay? Archons, look up the Gnostics, Nag Hammadi scrolls, gospel, the original Gospel of St. Thomas. There's a incident in Jesus, or Sananda is Jesus' actual name. And also what this says by the ego of this world. Here's another bone, I'll throw you a bone of legitimacy. Look up, and I come from a Christian background, you know, I was raised Catholic and all that stuff, and you know, but the ego of this world, Sananda talks about this perfectly in the work known as A Course in Miracles. So if you're all about what Jesus, Sananda had to teach, and you're still kind of fighting all this information, it's still kind of weird to you, Go look up A Course in Miracles and put all your effort into learning that, because that's going to teach you about the ego of this world. All right. So that's how the reptilians throughout the digital matrix kept us all enslaved, through our lower energy vibrations, through anger, through fear, divide and conquer, keep everybody pissed off at one another, keep you afraid, crime, criminal statistics, blah, 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 blah. All kinds of shit, pornography, all over the place. That was my weakness. I'm not gonna lie. And but I'm over all that shit now. I've done got right. I've done put my, I done opened that royal snake. The devil is my footstool. So I'm sharing this information as an invitation to freedom. Come join us. All right, get out of the matrix. All right, exit the matrix. Like my one of my favorite YouTube personalities, Ralph Smart. Be a deep diver, breathe in that good ass prana. I love Ralph Smart. If you don't know who Ralph Smart is, look him up on YouTube. Look up Sadhguru as well. And look up in particular the interview that Ralph Smart and Sadhguru. Sadhguru is spelled Sadhguru. That's a great interaction between those two. Anyway, the reptilian brain has the ability to shut down the other brains. We, talking about your bird brain, like our, and we only, as humans, what, we 10%. Anyway, so let me go on. Reptilian brain has the ability to shut down the other brains. If it senses danger, yes, keep us all fight or flight. Capable of paranoia, yes. It is our reptilian brains that allow persecution of others. This is why we're bombarded daily with negative messages that frighten us. It suspends our conscious processing and keeps our subconscious mind open to suggestive programming. Okay. And negative fear programming, fear-based thinking, all these things, fear-based thinking, feeling, and negative ego, fear-based, separated programming held within the four lower bodies of the earth and all her inhabitants. This faulty negative ego programming became seated in the collective consciousness and was passed along through the generation. The reason why many stay trapped in the tomb is because they want to fit in. This is the fear principle that rules mass consciousness and the illusion that feeding the fears of being excluded and then the fears of death. The matrix has controlled all of mass consciousness, right? Tribal consciousness, corporate thought pattern, mass psychology, swing the masses to their will because, through advertising, look up, how the advertising has employed, or that industry uses the, sex sells and all this stuff, right? It's just incredible that's what they target. That's what they kept us as animals. So mass psychology through the advert industry, basically through mass consciousness, reality is presented through the lens of the ego, all right, and controls perceptions and what they are allowed to understand and see of this world. That's why the third eye of intuition is closed, all right? The pineal gland, the assault upon our health through, fluoride in the water, through all the shit poisons that are put in our food. That's the number one thing that they wanted, that pineal gland, the third eye, they wanted that destroyed. And by and large, they did that. So the masses are made up of individuals, and to change the consciousness of the masses, the consciousness of the individual must alter. That's why I'm making all these videos. I'm trying to send a message out. As we alter our consciousness and awareness, we will understand who we are, why we are here, and what part we are destined to play in creating this new age, the new golden age. In this way, Satan, let's bring it all back in. Satan does not exist. He exists as a symbol, as the ultra ego, that's how, Satan gets you. He's through all the airwaves. They command all the airwaves, the matrix, the digital matrix. I've discussed that. But Satan, in and of itself, has what's been played up as the bogeyman doesn't exist. It's just a scapegoat. Like Satan made me do it or whatever. Well, but yeah, but the Satan is the reptilian, the alpha draconians, the little gray bitches that they do all this shit. So anyway, Satan, the ultra ego, exercises great control over large groups of people. Working as the accuser, Satan uses this corporate thought to keep God's spiritual leaders down and out. If God intends to use a certain man to bless his people, the enemy, working within the group mentality, will cause everybody to turn against him. Like, I lost all my friends. I have no damn friends. Everybody just, no, not my mom, my parents, and my squirrel friends. Man, squirrels are awesome. And I love birds too. They're my friends. They got my back. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure all my friends on Facebook think I'm a weirdo, but whatever. And this has also been used in organized gang stalking or organized bullying or organized predator stalking. Satan controls mass consciousness through the carnal mind and ego, and actually using anyone at any time and anywhere for the purpose of organized gang stalking. Now, I know that exists. I've seen that shit in action. And gaslighting, that was a term that, thank God I've got friends on Facebook. It's a term that I learned, and that's just shit that I've always known. People trying to always work their angle on something, whatever. I mean, but gang stalking, yeah. If you stick out and they try to do that shit to me, but they just can't fuck with me, man. I mean, sorry, I'm not trying to brag, but those bitches end up running the other way after they find out what I'm all about. So we all desire to be accepted. I've been alone. I can be alone. I'm solitary, whatever. I know what the truth is. So every one of us has an inherent need for the approbation and acknowledgement of others. Now, all that negative spit, where I was just spitting, I mean, to all of us people that are awake, my brothers and sisters, we're all brothers and sisters. This skin color doesn't mean anything. The only color that really matters is the pink color of love, the color of gold, spiritual gold. That's what I'm trying to mine, get some spiritual gold nuggets and pass them out to people. All right. So the digital matrix, every one of us has an inherent need for the approbation, acknowledgement of others, because the enemy knows this. As soon as he gets control of a group, he brings all who may object to his will under control, using the fear of not being accepted. It is called the fear of exclusion. This type of fear is an intimidating fear. Some people live in what is called people bondage. People bondage is when people cannot separate their personal lives from other people's thoughts and opinions about them. Because they cannot separate the two, they are perpetually governed by the opinions of others. Fear and intimidation controls mass consciousness and producing a corporate thought pattern that keeps people in bondage and separation. Yes, because the tribal consciousness, that is part of the lower matrix, that ultra ego, keeping up with the Joneses. I got to have this car and I got to look like that, whatever. And this is a mind prison that's been created. For eons, human will has been controlled by the collective will. For example, the will of the tribe has dictated the will of its tribe members. My will and tribal will are one. I don't have a tribe except for my soul tribe, which hopefully I'll find some soulmates and some soul soldiers. But as it is, I don't need it. I mean, I'm just marching on with the truth. That's my soul. That's my tribe, the truth. Tribe of truth. However, the individualization process requires that we develop the sense of our own will. Only when we can you can tell that coffee is pretty good. Ooh. I drank about two. How you doing, Yoda? I probably need to settle down. Yoda, do I need to settle down? Oh. Okay. Yoda. Should I settle down a little bit? He said, you heard that? You will know when you're a prominent piece. Thank you, Yoda. All right, let me calm down. All right. From an energetic perspective, how apropos. Need to lower my energies. When our electromagnetic field and psyche are merged with mass consciousness, the tribal mind controls our mind and emotions. We are at the mercy of the directives of our tribe. We thus make ourselves available to be manipulated and exploited by the prevailing social and economic system. In fact, we are not only dependent upon external authorities, we are open targets for their abuse. If we are a slave to external forces, our will is not free. Our individualization process and separation from group consciousness requires that we focus on ourselves and become masters of our own energy. Fortunately, we can participate in shifting the global paradigm by extricating ourselves from the prevailing matrix and by reclaiming our will. So yeah, folks, disconnect from the digital matrix. Get out in nature, walk around, just leave your smartphones and all that shit. I mean, I'm not saying throw them away, but just put it in its place. Put Satan in its place. All right. So we got to reclaim our will, connecting with the power and truth of universal forces within is the only way to reclaim our authentic will. When we embody the strength of the divine and our soul, we can be released from the web of mass consciousness. Our tribal affiliation is replaced by our oneness with universal spirit. The right use of will is then possible. As we become able and willing to listen to and follow our inner guidance, we cease to listen to and follow the directives of social, religious, parental, and our other authority figures. All right, Yoda, I'm telling them. Ultimately, we experience, I'm calming down too. I know I was getting a little excited. Ultimately, we experience that our will and divine will are one. It is very necessary to overcome the negative programming that the circle world and ourselves have put in place in our energy field. Each time we manage to reverse a negative thought with a positive affirmation, like I just did, I know I'm calming down, we create a little more distance from it and create an energy space of our own that can be filled with positive feelings and therefore energy. When we make continuous effort to do this, then we are taking back control of our soul. All right? And our very lives as well, our soul, that's our life. But make no mistake, the negative thoughts want us back, and they want us firmly back in the loop of the ego-driven circle world. Basically, like a kind of a popular or well-known. This is kind of a dynamic in the spiritual world, and there's many biblical verses that talk about as a person leaves this world of ego world, or any kind of evil, as you get closer to the light, that's when the attacks get really hardcore. That's when, it's like they see you escaping, and then Satan throws everything at you to try to keep you back into their world. I can testify to that. It's an actual dynamic. So when we make continuous effort to do this, we're taking back control of our soul connections and our very lives. Make no mistake. The negative thoughts want us back, and they want us firmly back in the loop of the ego-driven circle world. The subconscious will spare no tactic to protect you from any discomfort, and it will invoke some amazingly creative ways and go to extreme lengths to keep you in your comfort zone. It is important to understand that the comfort zone is like a magnet, a gravitational force that doesn't allow you to stray far away from your comfort zone without conscious and powerful effort. That reminds me of Sananda, Jesus, 40 days in the desert. But yeah, 40 days is essential. Whatever you have in your life, let's say, you're every day you're looking at your smartphone and you're 40 days, whatever your addiction is, you need to be able to demonstrate put 40 days between you and whatever it is that was keeping you in this circle loop of the digital matrix. But once you pass that 40-day mark, once you spent 40 days in the desert and proven and demonstrated that you are the master, and Satan becomes your footstool. I know it. I know it for a fact. Like the rocket that needs a sustained powerful force to blast through the Earth's gravitational pull, a person must forcefully push against his or her usual thoughts and behavior and sustain that effort to break through his or her personal gravitational pull. But here's the key. Every person must do his or her own pushing to sustain achievements. The bottom line is that conscious and unconscious efforts to resist change will undermine and sabotage the greatest of plans if proper attention is not given to supporting the change process from the very start. Okay, I'm going to hold up here because I feel this is most important, what I just shared. Here's the key. Every person must do his or her own pushing. So that means, let's say, you've made a goal that for 40 days, I'm not going to watch pornography. I'm not going to engage in, I'm not going to be a wanker and watch porn for 40 days. And then you make it 7 days and you're like, oh man, I just got to watch some damn midget porn, and then you find yourself watching midget porn and wanking to some midgets. Well, I'm sorry for my crudeness, y'all. I'm just trying to keep it real. But look, and then you break down and go watch some midget porn. Not that I'm not, anyway, my thing was rubber ducks, but I'll just leave. So you have to do this on your own. And you have to, your own effort. You can't fail and then pray and then think, because this is what's been given to us, that Jesus, if you pray to Jesus or ask Jesus for forgiveness, then everything's absolved. But no, but you're still in the same damn predicament. If you haven't mastered your addictions, if you have not mastered your ego, the digital matrix, then you're going to still be enmeshed in all this. You have to demonstrate your sovereignty over all of this, all of these addictions, the digital matrix. You have to put distance between yourselves. And metaphysically speaking, the magic number is 40 days. If you can go into the desert like Jesus did, like Sananda did for 40 days, resist every temptation of the devil, and come out as a champion, with the royal snake upon your brow, if you can do that, then you're sovereign. Now we'll end this episode here and I'll come back and finish out, but this is very important, y'all. Namaste. Very important, and you have to demonstrate it. Yeah, it's like take it serious. I don't know what else to tell you, just, except for namaste. And when I say that, I recognize the divinity within me recognizes the divinity within all of you, all of my golden horde, golden people. Be golden. Be golden.